On today's episode, I'm very excited to have Roberta Barrington. She is the design director at Zoo, one of our favorite companies in Saskatoon. So thank you for being here, Roberta.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
I'm going to tell everybody a little bit about you. So Roberta comes from a diverse creative background spanning graphic design, art direction, and for advertising, editorial design for local magazines, and retail branding. Roberta is a modernist, critical thinker, and expert creative with a fascination for how design and user experiences intersect. So yeah, thanks for being here. Have you been on a podcast before?
I have not.
Okay. It's easy. You just talk to someone. That's it.
Hopefully I'll give like something useful or some sort of snippet.
Just teach me.
Yeah.
If I learn something that makes it worth it.
Yeah.
If we have a good time, check. My intention of this show and podcast is like mostly for me to connect with people, and then any good snippets or ideas, take what's good, leave the rest. Doesn't matter.
Love that. Well, yeah, you're a great person to hang out with. So
good.
Looking forward to it.
It's already a win.
Yeah.
It's already a win. So right before we started rolling, I know Zoo is a design thinking company, and you're saying that that's becoming kind of like outcast and
like passe, or there's a bit of a backlash.
Yeah. But in your description, like how design and user experiences intersect. So tell me what that means to you. So you do graphic design. Maybe tell me a few types of projects you work on, and then how the user experience part comes into your work.
So projects I work on. In my department, we are responsible for the aesthetics, the visuals, the thing that you interact with, and giving it like a life, I guess you could say. Giving it something for the user to hold on to and actually interact with. We make those visual decisions, and you wanted to know something we've worked on more recently?
So it could be a type of project, doesn't have.
Yeah.
Or if you want to share a public project, like I assume most of what you're working on goes live later, and you can't even talk about it. But yeah, if you want to, you pick what you want to share.
A lot of these projects, like they'll go on for years, and my part will be at the beginning or the middle, and then we won't see it actually live for a year or a few months, which is, it's cool to kind of see the process of how it's built. But oftentimes what we're building are app experiences, so digital on a screen, whether it's your phone or a desktop experience. We're building usually for both, just to make sure that we're capturing all the different user experiences across the internet and across these channels. Sometimes we aren't only using apps and working on screens. Sometimes we're actually using analog technology. We're working with people in person to kind of figure out what's the problem you're having. Can we solve this with a screen, or do we actually need to get like a physical solution? One of my favorite projects was solving a mining machinery problem, a very tactile experience in a very specific environment, which is underground, like 2 kilometers underground. And how does that affect the experience of the user? What do they need to see on the screen at the same time? And really being empathetic to their experience and designing for them. So that's the human-centered side of experience design.
Is it hard to figure out what people actually want and need? Because like if you're an operator, in your example, if you're an operator of the machine, you may not be capable of articulating easily what you wish you would see, unless you're like highly experienced maybe, but even then your job isn't designing
and
machinery or tooling.
I would say oftentimes people don't even know what they want. They have a problem, and they might have a certain solution in mind, but their experience limits them to how they think they can solve that experience or that issue or that problem. So when we come in with a very different set of skills and a very different perspective, we can kind of help ideate and uncover like what is the actual heart of the problem here. And sort of iterate with the person who's having discovering the error or the problem or the hill that they're trying to climb. We can take our tools and use our skills to kind of help them get over that. It's usually through a lot of questions. It's just like having a good conversation with someone to uncover like what are their motivations, what are the problems they're having, what's their unique experience day to day. And just being really willing to listen and then you turn that into a visual solution.
Do you have to like almost learn the process better than them to do a good job?
Yeah. So, well, I wouldn't say better. You're kind of you're immersing yourself in their world for sure, and that's where the interviews come in. That's where spending time with these people comes in. Doing research, you're definitely immersing yourself, but you're always kind of at arm's length, and you'll never be as good as the professional who's working on the project, but you can do your best to kind of use your empathy and your skills to help them get to the next point that they're trying to get to. So, yeah.
Do you enjoy that part of it?
I love it.
Do you do any of the interview question stuff as a designer?
I have. Yep. Yeah. My favorite part is definitely working one-on-one with people and kind of discovering a problem that maybe they didn't even know they had, but together we're kind of uncovering things that they wouldn't have otherwise noticed or connected that they actually could come up with a solution for.
Yeah, probably even like things that they just think are part of the experience. Like you have to live with this poor functionality.
Yeah. Yeah. Which it's just such a wonderful feeling to actually get over that with somebody else. So, yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you find that like even on a website to build or something like that, like, and now you said you're part of the aesthetic side. Is that still the place where the human interaction with the software or whatever you're making, like your team is in charge of that part mostly?
Yeah. And like aesthetic isn't necessarily the right word, but I still like it because it is the visual side, and it involves aspects of beauty and, wanting the user to have a nice experience. And we're like 95% visual as humans. So I want it to be a beautiful visual experience, but they're also interacting with an interface, and you're interfacing with a computer or a software or technology. And how do you get the two to connect, the human and the software?
Well, you said before we started rolling, in another life, you'd be a interior designer.
Yeah.
So yeah, which is like, you in a living room, you interact with the furniture, you use it for different purposes,
totally.
kitchens.
Yeah, and you're designing a space for an experience. You're designing it to host different experiences. So I feel like a lot of these careers, whether you're an architect or a designer, a chef, a photographer, you're being a good host. You're hosting the facilitation of problem solving in some regard. So
love it.
Yeah.
I got some quick fire questions for you.
Okay.
Do you prefer working with a team or putting some headphones in and going to a coffee shop?
Team, always. Yeah.
Okay.
Love a team.
If you could erase one thing from your calendar, what would it be? Permanently, forever.
Permanently?
Doesn't have to be permanent.
I love my calendar.
No, you keep your calendar. What would you take from it?
It like governs my life. What would I take out of it? I don't know. I have no idea. What would you say?
Making proposals.
Making proposals.
I hate that.
Oh.
Like if I get an RFP coming in, I'm like,
yeah. Okay. I could segue this into like, I would take out some of the menial tasks. Like, don't ask me to edit a photo or like,
convert this to PDF.
Yeah. I hate, or redoing anything I get really irritated by.
How do you solve, we're totally off track. How do you solve that problem? Like, and why is that such a struggle for creatives? Because like, I don't like that part either.
Yeah.
We've learned when we give something to a client for like a review, we explain why we did what we did.
Yep. Your rationale.
And then the revisions are completely
painful.
Well, no, they're better because we've like explained purpose.
Okay.
If you just give it, then
so that's the answer.
They think they need to do it.
Yeah.
And even with photography, when we email you your final images, we say these are considered final, but if you'd like any tweaks or if you like, I don't even say but, these are considered final. If you'd like any tweaks or changes, let us know in the next few days and we'll make them.
Yeah.
Just so there's like, if you don't like something, we'll change it. But like,
so I think you've solved it.
These don't need a revision.
Yeah.
Like, and so I've heard from many people, like you send things to for someone to review, they think they have to make changes and tweaks.
Right.
so that they make them even if they're not necessary.
Yeah. So I think there's your solution is you're communicating and you're empathizing with what they're going to try to do next. And you are, you're communicating what you want to get across to them. But there's also an implication of like, we don't want any more changes here. Like this, you should be happy with this, but we can understand like there will be something specific that you want to change. And it's not a free license to just go, I want this, and this changed and across the board. And like, let's try something else. Like you've used your expertise to that point to get it to a final state.
So how do you do that on the design side? And do you talk with the client directly often?
Most of the time, yeah. I kind of am, I guess, like a liaison oftentimes. And I think that has to do with my communication skills. Over communication, good use of vocabulary to get like to the very heart of subtleties of that communication. What are they trying to get out of the process? I feel like I've honed that over 20 years in this industry, listening to people and discerning like they're asking for one thing, but I think they actually want this other solution, or they haven't considered this because they don't know about it. So yeah.
That's interesting. Lots of, like a lot of people don't know what they don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to help them figure that out.
Yeah, and that's what we're here for, is like give another perspective. So
yeah.
Yeah.
What's some of your favorite types of work to make? Like,
I love digging into a really complex problem, especially when it involves like a specialized team of professionals who are very passionate about what they're doing, but they really need like my services or my team's services or Zoo's services to solve that problem. And it's going to take multiple different people to get there, but everyone's kind of bought in. So it could be, and I don't, the reason why I'm not saying like, here's doing an app is because you don't know what that solution will be until you start digging in to the problem. We never start out saying like, yeah, you need an app for that, because we don't know. We don't know until we talk to their users. We don't know until we talk to the team involved. So we can't prescribe a solution. So
it's funny because it's like abstract, like to know you have a problem is clear, but that to define the problem is hard.
Yeah.
And that's where like, it sounds like part of your big strength as an organization is defining problems clearly. So you're asking clear, proper questions that get outcomes that solve ambiguous problem or whatever.
Yeah. And going back to design thinking, that's probably a more eloquent way of explaining it to somebody, is taking an ambiguous situation or a problem and making it very crystal clear for everybody involved, all the stakeholders, and getting to a feasible solution quickly.
What's your favorite tool? Software?
Right now, Figma.
Yeah.
And I am not that good at it. I just came back from mat leave 14 months ago, and the tool has changed drastically. There are people on my team who are so good with it, and I feel like they'd even say they don't know everything about it, but it is incredibly powerful. And the solutions that they're coming out with, like Figma slides, Figma sites, are just so exciting. Like what you can do.
Okay, like I've heard about Figma. Like it's been around for a decade now, but like I think I first heard about it in like 2018, 19
Mm-hmm. Yep.
ish.
That tracks.
Maybe even 2020. But I think originally it was like this wireframe design prototyping software, but if you designed it in there, then you'd have to go redesign it somewhere else.
Yeah, it was browser based, and that was what kind of like from the agency world we looked at it as like that's maybe a risk that this only lives on a browser. Like how secure is that? So we were very much Adobe based. We were using Sketch. Adobe XD was a natural next evolution to getting prototypes into a software. Then COVID happened. Remote work happened. And suddenly there was a shift in the way software was evolving to that change. Adobe, I think, was just too big to pivot, and Figma was well positioned to kind of eat their lunch in terms of prototype discovery. Adobe almost bought Figma, and I think anyone who knows the industry knows that was a massive massive fail that just fell through in such a spectacular way. And now we have 2 separate, very powerful suites that we use, Adobe Creative Suite and Figma.
I feel like competitions get like
Yeah.
Adobe's been the king for so long, like in a lot of like design, photography, videography. And there's one for photography that's kind of replacing Photoshop. And I can't remember the name. I listened to a podcast about like one of the best apps of 2025, and that was one of them. It doesn't matter what it's called, but it's
yeah,
it's
I'm
like
blanking on it too now.
you probably anyway.
Does it kind of take all of the suite, Adobe Creative Suite, and it kind of integrates all of them, and it's like free?
It's just
Canva put it out.
I don't know if Canva put it out, but it's
not.
like a
Okay.
free editor.
Yeah.
And then it has some different tools. And like I would say Adobe, honestly, the way I use it is the same way I used it 15 years ago, 18 years ago when I was starting. And it just seems to adopt slow. And then on the video side, you have multiple options. And there's this other company called Blackmagic who make this software called DaVinci Resolve.
Yep.
And they're like dominating because you can get it for free. And the free version has like 95% of the functionality. And then when you buy the paid version, it's like a one-time buy.
Oh,
So
and that is really appealing now,
So we
too.
bought it at like 15.
Yeah.
And now it's on 20 or 21. And it's like, and then they just keep adding features. I'm like, how are they making money? But they also sell
Amazing.
hardware,
Right.
like
yeah.
cameras. They sell like, we have their like keyboards and interfaces as well because they're designed for like studio application.
Oh, yeah. So that reminds me of a principle I was taught. I did an intensive in New York, and one of the lessons that stuck with me is in order to make kind of make things, I don't know, more profitable or make your product better is to make your user better. So if they're providing you with like hardware and you're learning on that and it's improving your process and you're getting better at your craft, then they're making you into a better user. And I always loved that concept.
I'm writing this down. I like, you know what? I like that idea because I would say as a creative studio, so we do photography and video. That's like our main 2 services. And then what we found was a big problem of like tons of content. And there was this gap of how to use it.
Yes.
And then, you know, you can use it in traditional ways like design on a website, design on, you know, print media, digital media, whatever it is. But then that gap of like using it on social media just seemed to be like this missing piece because now you needed imagery, graphic, copy, intent, strategy, and then huge volumes.
Yeah.
And so like the idea of making my customers able to use their content better. If I'm right, the gamble I'm taking is like, if I'm right, it'll help their business grow. And if it helps their business grow, then they'll keep coming back and scale up as they scale.
Totally.
So yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah.
But anyway, DaVinci and Blackmagic do this, and like the products they make are like, they always push it, and they like everything's thoughtful, and they have I think they're Singapore based, but their main spokesperson, he's kind of like, he does Steve Jobsy sort of
like the big keynotes.
The other smaller, like they're more like demos.
Okay.
And they're just done in there. Like I don't know where he lives. He's an Australian guy. But it's super, super cool. And then like they just had CES this last week in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Where all the new products go, and companies, they might go there. There's another one in May called NAB. That's like the video one. But they're
Back
always
in Vegas too.
I'm sure it's the same
go?
building. It's been a bucket list thing to do a conference like that.
You totally should. Yeah.
Have you ever done like a Google or Adobe conference?
We did Adobe.
Adobe Max is it
one
called?
Of my favorite colleagues, Brittany Loy, if you're watching, we did Adobe in Vegas in 2017, and it was one. I before that I was like, why do people go to Vegas? And then came back was like, oh, I get it. That was really fun. And I think the year before that, the 2016 iteration, they gave every participant a camera, like an SLR camera. And I was just like, what are they going to give us this year? But that's not besides the point. It was a great time. It was what sold us on using XD at the time. It was so immersive and so creative, and it was just great. And then we did config.
That's for Figma, I assume.
Yep. That's the Figma conference in what year is it now? 2024? Yeah, 2024 we went spring, and it was wild. How many people were there? I think they oversold it because it was so packed and it was so hard to get into talks and move around and stuff. I think that's when Figma really was blowing up too. So It was a good time.
What do you think of Canva as a platform, like for a professional?
There was, as a design professional, I think we were the designers were very like, no, like poo-poo this. It's, we don't need this. It's not for designers. It's cheapening our craft. Like there was this backlash from creatives. Now Canva, I think, has refined itself in such a way that it's making creativity more accessible to not just people who work with social media on a regular basis, but to pretty much anyone who needs a visual communication piece, which I think is great. Like the democratization of design and communication is important. Add to that, and I would say I'm actually kind of a fan now, even though I don't use it. I'm a fan in principle, is that they've created this software that is free to use and free to edit your content and your visual communications. And I just think that's awesome because they've been gatekeeping and making it so inaccessible to use their tools at this point. It's so expensive. So
yeah, what is it like? I think I was looking at my credit card statement.
Yeah.
We only have one like full suite, and then the rest are just like photography based.
Yeah.
But the one full suite was like $80 Canadian a month, I think.
Yeah, and like if you
that might even be a deal.
Yeah, that honestly might be. I've canceled my subscription. We still use it through the company because you just have to. It's a monopoly, but I love the idea that you can get a free software, and it's going to apparently be free forever to use this software to create visuals. I just think that's cool. So, and that gets younger people in, that gets novice designers and creatives in the door. It's just a tool that people can experiment with and get better at their craft. I can't see any downside. So
I feel like the long play of an organization like that is like when it's free, now all the kids can learn on it.
Yeah.
And whatever you learn on in high school tends to stick with you pretty heavily.
Totally. Yeah. Like had we had that in high school, just incredible. Like the world opening up to you at such a young age is so cool.
Have you ever picked any major software you use and switched? Like, I guess you went from XD to Figma.
We were using Sketch. What was the other one? It was a prototyping software, and it's other UX designers, if you're watching this, are like, it's this one, but I can't remember the name of it. We switched to not using Sketch anymore, or sometimes using it depending on the project, to XD, and that was pretty easy. It was both based on the Figma interface as well as being integrated into the Adobe like visual language. So that was a pretty easy switch. Then Figma came out, and it was even easier to switch to that, simply because of Adobe being similar to it and the world that it opened up to creating. And I think YouTube plays a big part in that too, as you can just learn. Oh, sorry, plant.
So good. It's real, by the way.
It's really, it's beautiful. It's doing quite well.
Yeah. Doesn't live in here.
It's happy.
It stays in the other room.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, side note, we had one when we first moved into this space like 4 years ago, and it got so big, it's now at Hearth. Like it was into the ceiling.
Is it
was
a
like
fiddly fig or one of these guys?
It was a bird of paradise.
Wow.
Anyway, it still lives at Hearth.
Wow, happy.
But it was so big, I was like, I'm cutting it down.
Yeah.
We're going to get it out of here. We had to turn it sideways.
Yeah.
We had to take some plastic and just gently like wrap the leaves, and then we had to like pull it out of the...
Oh, yeah.
Almost like a carrot, like pulling a carrot the other way though. But, and then we carted it down the street to Hearth.
Amazing.
Like on a cart. It was pretty funny.
Amazing.
But yeah. In the photography industry, there's Adobe. So we still are like, that's our main workflow.
Are you using Final Cut, or is that video only?
Final Cut's video only.
Okay.
Adobe had this program called Aperture for a little while.
Yeah.
Back in like 2006, 7, 8, 9, maybe 10. And then they got rid of it for some reason, but it was a raw. Professional photographers, I'd say 99% of them shoot raw photos.
Yep.
Raw photos are like proprietary formats from each camera maker.
Mm-hmm.
So if you make a software that edits raw, it needs to be able to process not just every brand, but every
like
camera.
Sony's RAW. And
not even Sony's RAW. It's like Sony A7 IV. Like that one's.
Oh, wow.
So if a new camera comes out, you can't even edit it for like 2 months on Adobe, or like a month.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm sure they work with Adobe
They're
to make sure
kinda
it's...
geez, sorry.
Yeah, because you can't... Well, so they release a lot of cameras in the winter because then it gives time for
Gotcha.
adoption, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, so then there's this other one called Capture One, and that one's become a really popular one. But to switch for us would just be like, it's complicated. Retraining everybody, like we all know the workflow with ours.
Yeah, it interrupts your workflow, slows you down. Yeah.
And it's like, and it's different. Like the way different apps handle color before you're into a JPEG is not all the same. Like even video editing to photo editing, the way you process color is completely different. Like, and actually the video editor we use, I would say, has better color tools than any Adobe product.
Man, that stuff is fascinating too. Like once you get into color science and the people who are programming these things, like what a wild part of the industry.
Yeah, and science is a good word for it.
Yeah.
It's like complicated. I don't know enough. I've nerded out enough times to be like, this is still over my head.
Yeah.
And if I'm smart enough to figure most things out and can't figure this out, it probably doesn't matter that much.
There was a great video at Config 2025 maybe, or 2024. All of it's free. Like I think you can watch all of the old ones, but it was a color scientist or whatever her profession was talking about how there are other color profiles out there other than RGB, hex, CMYK, like talking about all of these. It just like kind of blew my mind. Like what? You know, like the whole mantis shrimp that can see colors that we can't see. It just was like, whoa, love that.
Well, so here's the funny thing. I did a test maybe last year. I don't know if it's still true, but we could test it. You've heard of Adobe RGB?
Oh yeah,
like old as could be.
sRGB, Apple RGB,
and sRGB is like the original.
Yeah,
it's 8-bit color, and Adobe. If by default Adobe likes to export in Adobe RGB.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bigger space, whatever that means.
Yeah,
and we have a rule in our studio. It's like if it looks good, it looks good.
Yeah,
and if it looks bad, it looks bad. It doesn't matter. Like there's this masculine side of creativity that's all about tools and like settings being right. Precision.
Yeah.
Is that photo sharp? Is that blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
Was the lighting ratio perfect? Like Ansel Adams-y, super nerdy.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, like, you know, people are going to look at their photos on this device, like called a phone or a laptop.
Yeah.
Hopefully
using their eyes.
Yeah. Does it look good on here?
Yeah.
Yes, no. Yes. Okay, good.
Does it evoke some emotion? Do they feel good about it?
Yeah, that matters way more.
Yeah.
Then I would call that like the feminine side of creativity.
Yeah,
It's like the feeling.
I love that. The yin and the yang.
I find the feminine side of photography is better in general. I think women in general make better photographers than men.
Interesting. Soundbite that.
Well, men lean on like technicality too much, and like they'll use it to compensate for lack of skill.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll buy, like it's a thing. The people who buy the most expensive cameras, I could almost promise you, are like 99% men.
Interesting, yeah.
Go to Don's, ask them. They should do a survey.
Well, when I hear conversations between my husband or my anyone he's talking to about film, or not to knock it, it's funny. Like my brother-in-law, like chatting about the technical stuff, I just like zone right out.
Yeah. So yeah, I think videography, just because it is more technical than photography.
Totally.
Tends to lean towards more male filmmakers.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's interesting.
But yeah, like I sold an old camera after we used it for like 4 years. We get like 4 or 5, 6 years out of a camera. Mm-hmm. They don't make new ones every year. It's every like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, or like major updates don't happen for
it's pretty,
like cars kind of.
It's not. Yeah, it's like like a new body style.
Yeah.
Without the interim updates, like a camera's like locked in. Lenses can last 10, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Cameras 5 to 6.
Interesting.
You know.
Okay.
Anyway, I was selling one of the cameras, but the cameras I buy are not, I said, a professional camera.
Yep.
It was like $3,000 brand new, just for the body. Mm-hmm. And then some Facebook guy, it was a guy, it was like, oh, he scoffed at me. I'd hardly call that professional.
On Marketplace?
On Marketplace. And I'm like, and I've seen this before in my life. I didn't say anything, but man, the commenters just did justice. I didn't have to say anything.
Yeah.
And then he eventually deleted his comment. But I'm like, what? Like it takes photos at 10 frames a second. That's a lot. Like if it did 1 a second, that's still fine.
They call that professional. Oh man.
And I'm like, if the client doesn't know, like you can't distinguish And the most expensive cameras, you know what they're good for? Like sports.
Oh, yeah.
You're paying for speed.
Yeah.
And quality is not even better.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, it always gets me watching, like the highest technical quality is centered on sports.
Yeah, like actually the lenses they use for sports, like
are like pushing the industry forward, really.
Well, those big white ones.
Yeah.
No one buys them except those people.
Yeah.
Or bird photographers.
Yeah.
Always guys. I'm really being sexist here.
We're ragging on guys.
Not always. Not always. We're just talking statistically. But those cameras, like that lens would be like $15,000 and the body he's got put on the back is like $9,000. But then you can't use that to take portraits because it's like a weird focal length and the camera's like, some of those cameras don't even have mechanical shutters, so you can't use some of them with flashes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I use flashes and studio lighting. Like, that's not my needs. And they're usually even lower resolution.
Yeah.
So technically, there's other cameras that are cheaper and better. But anyway. Oh, and you can crawl through the mud with them. It's like, who cares?
Yeah. Niche.
Yeah, niche. I don't need this. I don't need this. We actually do our headshots on this really cheap lens just because I like it better.
Yeah.
And I have...
If it gets you the product you want.
I own the Sony like $3,000 lens.
Yeah.
That's like they're called G Master. That's their like fancy one. And then this like Tamron lens. I bought it because we just needed another lens for video. And then I started shooting with it. And I'm like, I think I like this better.
Yeah.
And it has some optical flaws because it's not like perfect, but where the face is, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my clients don't notice. I like it better, and that matters. That's all that matters.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
And it's way later, so it's like,
and it's like your self-awareness to be like, this is good enough, rather than that pursuit of perfection.
Well, it's not even
no one's going to appreciate.
I don't even view it as a compromise. Technically,
yeah,
technically it might be, but
yeah.
There's another thing about cameras. Like you can buy these grips for the bottom.
Oh,
that you put batteries in. Totally non-necessary. Impacts photography 0%. But like any of the guys I grew up photographing with, like they'd always have the grips, and it would just make the camera substantially bigger because it looks like pro cameras actually were that big, one piece.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Does it extend battery life? Like, is there a use?
Only because there's 2 batteries in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I can just put a new battery and I got like, it's not even a problem, right? I'm just like, guys, chill.
Yeah.
Oh, back to Adobe and sRGB and all these color science things. If you post a portrait on LinkedIn, doesn't happen on Instagram or Facebook. If it's an Adobe RGB, it'll be desaturated because the internet, and like web browsers
is on sRGB.
They just default render that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't matter, Mac, PC, Safari, Chrome.
Interesting.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And the
internet is rendering. Okay. Yeah.
So technically, it's a better system, but like if it doesn't look good, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So we default all of our images in 8-bit sRGB.
That's good to know because like a lot of us are putting these images on the internet, and if you're exporting anything and you're like, I don't know what I'm changing in the export settings. Yeah. Good to know. I never knew that.
I'm being a dark horse here, talking crap. But yeah, it's funny. And then a lot of you let's say you take a photo, go to a print lab.
Mm-hmm.
Like technically printers print in like CMYK,
mm-hmm.
but they'll convert it to to RGB,
mm-hmm.
back to the printer, rehandles how the colors work depending on how many colors of ink they have.
Right.
Like our photo printer used to have 11 colors of ink, so just reprocess it, like do it through its own thing.
Yep.
And then if you print at a store, like even London Drugs, by default, you know what they're going to do? They're going to auto-correct your images you send anyway,
mm-hmm.
and ruin whatever you did. And if you don't know these things,
if you don't have end-to-end control,
well, you think you're technically all right, and then it's like at the end of the day, if it doesn't look good, it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how.
Yeah.
People ask me all the time actually about calibrating my monitor, and I'm like, it's a brand new MacBook. Everybody else is going to probably watch it on a computer that's as good or less.
Yeah, and then you have no control over that. So
yeah, you get this Chromebook or whatever. It's actually funny when we go to some customers' offices, like everybody just works on Windows, like the corporate world works on Windows typically, and then you just see the screens and you're just like, oh, that looks like Windows. It just
the same with like from an interface perspective, just technical perspective, user experience perspective. You're just like, oh. All right.
It's so funny. But yeah. Anyway. I don't even know how we got on that segment. Science stuff. But yeah, I find the industry is really fun. And then the longer I've worked with it, the more I'm like, I'd say even on our side, it's like we look at like leaning on technical things. Like you should have base level technicality and then creativity always trumps technicality.
Oh, 100%. Taste, creativity, human experience. Yep. I
think I learned, I still photograph weddings, but I think photographing weddings has probably been the best teacher to becoming creative, because no one cares if it's blurry, they do care. But if it's like, if it got a good moment, that matters more. If it's a little bit blurry and grainy, like just like a bit of motion blur, especially nowadays, that's like in style. Yeah. Like people you got to make what people want, right?
Compositionally, does it evoke emotion? Yeah. It did its job.
Yeah. Instead of following rules it's like good to know them, but like good to know them so you can adapt, break, make your own creative voice.
Totally. Absolutely.
So talk to me about design. Oh, that was a good segue. Talk to me about design when it comes to marketing. Like, do you get involved in that side of, like, we're working on products not for like art consumption. We're working on them for commercialization.
And that is what design is, really, at its core. It's art, but for consumption or to solve a problem. So they're different, but they're related. That. Yeah.
Okay.
It really hammered into me in art school too, is like, we're not artists, we are designers, we are solving problems. Like, okay, I'm sorry.
I actually like that. Yeah. Did you like that teacher who said that?
I loved him. Yeah. He scared the shit out of me, but a lot of my design teachers scared me, which is good.
Do you have any favorites, like any traits about them you really appreciate now?
Directness, excellent communication, excellent taste. Yeah. And just, they would not settle or like gloss over their feedback, which was extremely helpful. So, yeah.
I like those. I value that too. Actually, I photographed, when was it? Last night I shot a pianist, very creative guy, David Fong's his name. And I was at the basement.
Nice.
Because they have a real grand piano and some real stage lighting, and I brought my own.
Love that.
And people tend to be a little bit nice. And so when I show them the camera, I'm like, it's very exposing, but I find it like it's really good to do because I'm collaborating with the client. And I showed David the camera. I'm like the
view, like the
screen. Everything I got so far. I'm like, and I always tell people, and I told him yesterday, I'm like, don't feel like you're going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Just tell me what you're thinking. Because he was saying things and he was kind of holding back because he wanted to be sensitive. I'm like, no, don't be. Yeah. Like, you hate it, you like it, you want more of something, less of something. Yeah. Not that he should necessarily know the answer, but if he doesn't like something, he will know. Yes. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. Yeah. Totally. Or if he really likes something, I'm trying to like figure out where we're going, because I don't know exactly.
Totally, yeah. It's interesting you say that, because clients, even still, like I said, 20 years in the industry, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm here to solve a problem for you and with you, not just, me doing it and you liking it. And clients will, I take for granted the fact that they think that they might hurt my feelings. So I have to bring it back and remember that I have to communicate to them. This is for you to give me feedback on. This is for you to tell me if it's solving the problem that you're intending to solve. Does it feel off? And I need you to communicate that back to me. And I take for granted that I have to often still tell them that. So, yeah.
Back to what was that one question I asked you? I'm going to just write a note here. Gut feeling. Well, I want to talk about that in a little bit. Marketing. Like business, like client acquisition, like how much of that is part of, like, you've worked in the agency world in the past. Not that Zoo isn't. Zoo's just a very different type of company, but is that still part of your work? Like,
it's funny you're asking me that right now, because I'm specifically making it more of my work. And it hasn't been a lot of, well, it has been and it hasn't been, but I'm more directly involved with directing and assisting with the marketing now. Just because I have an interest in business and I have an interest in just kind of expanding my horizons that way. So that's where marketing comes in. It's like design, but more on the business side and the selling of the business. So
what exactly in your design world, like what's the responsibilities you get
by
opening that door for yourself?
I don't even get them. I just tell
them.
people I'm doing them.
Like, Ryan,
I need your help. You need my help. What can we make together? Here's here's a problem that we have. Here's a creative way that we could maybe approach it and experiment with trying to solve it through marketing, through design and visuals, through communications. So that's more of my job now.
So like, even let's say we go to the zoo website. I go on there once in a while. You guys have a great design language on there. Like, feels like you're interacting with almost like an app more than just like a web page.
Love that. I hope our developers are listening. They're probably very.
No, it feels good. And then, but yeah, like it's very simple. Like, I mean, you literally in your bio, modernist was your name. So it's very modern. It's clean. The way they do case studies there on the website. So are those parts of, like, have you had your fingerprints all over that, or?
Yeah, I was very heavily involved. That was definitely like a smaller group of us leading the charge on that one, and really, really trying to be critical of what are we communicating with this? How are we allowing our work to shine over a lot of text, a lot of explanatory content? That was kind of a major goal. So
interesting. And then, you had the experience with editorial design, art direction for advertising. Do you get to do those two things at all? Like, do you get to help come up with concepts, for business development team members? Or
definitely, like, typography in and of itself is the visuals of communication. It's how language looks and how it reads to our eye. And I've always been really interested, like, the nerdiest side of design, I feel like, is typography, because you can go so deep and so wide with your expertise in it, your background in it, your use of the craft of typography. So that's editorial design, that's communications, that's the use of language and how you manipulate how it looks to evoke a certain thought or emotion is really, really fun to me. And I still get to do that with interface design, with any documents we put out that are meant to communicate something. It's.
Do you like the marriage of video and photo and text and graphics?
Oh, yeah.
Like, do you like those kind of projects where you get
I mean, I appreciate it. I can't do it all.
Like, let's say you get a good set of photos to use. Yeah, sure. Like, I mean, even your team photos, you're the one who made the call on the style that we developed.
That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and so every time we shoot your photos different than everybody else.
Yeah.
Which is
Love
good.
that.
And it should be, because you're like, you should
be bespoke.
Yeah, and then to do it over.
You do a great job, by the way. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
So. I remember you came up with it, so I was like, I got to nail Roberta's to that look. And it was a bit like, I had to figure it out a little bit as we were going. Plus, you're like platinum blonde. You used to have more like white hair.
Used to be blonder.
Yeah. Your style.
Yeah.
So then it was just like, how do we get this all?
Yeah.
How do we get this all matching? But,
I appreciate that.
How big is your design team? Like, you're the director. How many people are like on your team?
We've got 6 on our team, counting myself.
And you manage the 5 of them? Like,
yeah, like manage is like a loose term. They're all quite senior. So it's more, I have more like a laissez-faire approach to leadership. Like
Is that French?
Yes.
What's it mean?
Pardon my French. Like
we haven't dropped F-bombs, speaking of French.
Well, fuck.
There we go.
My focus is to empower this group of very senior creatives. Like, they know how to do what they do best. It's more just ensuring that they know they're doing the right thing, pushing them to go further sometimes, pushing them to pull back if they need to, helping them to bridge the gap between business and design and the needs of the business, whether it's our client or our business. I also act sort of as that leader to the client base, if called upon. What else do I do? But like I said, they're very senior. It's not like I need to hold their hands and tell them what to do or even direct them. I might give them like a nugget, and they probably teach me more than I teach them, or, vice versa. So it's a very collaborative environment. And I'm not the only design leader on the team. We've also got Brian Ullman, his title would be principal, and that's simply because he is an expert craftsman when it comes to aesthetics and visuals and creative and art direction and everything. Like he's been in the industry longer than I have, and he's just amazing. So
is he on your team though?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's kind of like, yeah, he's
Are
the
both
craft
Brians
guy.
on your team?
Yeah, I got 2 Brians on my team.
I'm forgetting another Brian's name.
And Brian Catcher,
The artiste.
yes, he's just a phenomenal illustrator. And he kind of straddles strategy as well. Strategy and UX. So he's kind of a jack of all trades.
Do you find the industry itself needs more jack of all trades type of people?
Yeah. And
Like, do you ever struggle with niche people where they're like typography expert and you're like, well, honestly, we can't even,
Yeah.
you're useless here because
yeah. Like I'm glad that people can get to a certain level of expertise, and you need to find a job that will appreciate that. But in our work, everybody is kind of a jack of all trades. Like it used to be that we were very focused on, I think it was T-shape skills or whatever the trend was at the time. And now it's become very
What's
clear
that?
Going wide but deep in that one skill set or something. I can't even remember.
So you know the puddle or the
Yeah, I'm probably saying it.
shallow part,
Yeah.
but then in one little
You're
spot
really deep.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas generalists have kind of emerged as the most valuable skill set of the team. Like we can jump between this department and help with this project, but we can also kind of provide feedback on this other aspect of the business. So, yeah.
How do you adapt to having a team? Like, okay, so I'll give an example and then maybe you can figure it out from there. But in photography, like when our studio turned from me editing only to another person, then it wasn't me. It was different. It wasn't bad. It was just different slightly. Does the client tell the difference? No. And it doesn't, like, and it didn't matter because it's like, it was still good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like for a lot of people, especially like solo photographers, when they get help on the editing side, like our team edits in-house still. So so I can be pretty picky.
Yeah.
But like to get someone else doing it, like a lot of people can't ever bridge that gap. They're like, it's not good enough. And I'm like, well, part of it's time and part of it's just being okay with a slight different style.
Yeah, and they're probably not even using the language right. Like saying it's not good enough. It's more just like, well, you just don't have the control you're used to.
And I think there's a bit of ego in there.
Yeah, for sure.
To do that handoff. So I guess maybe speaking to the ego, the handoff, to then really open collaboration and letting people thrive. Because part of like the worst thing that could happen is you micromanage something to be exactly like you.
Yeah.
And now all they're thinking of is would they like it or not? Would they like it or not?
Yeah.
Instead of just does it look good or not?
And it's eroding their confidence. It's eroding their, it straight up leads to burnout, like, why am I here kind of thing.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, you empower someone to do it the way that they know, with maybe a little bit of direction and a little bit of like shepherding, and they'll come up with the best work you could possibly imagine that way, I find. So
was that a thing you ever had to overcome as a designer? Because like it definitely
like
for
the
me,
hovering art director kind of thing, or wanting to be the hovering art director.
Well, I don't know. Like you have quite a lot of experience. I guess maybe you've always worked on teams, and maybe that photography is more of a siloed experience for most before it turns into that. So maybe design works differently. I don't know.
Yeah, like I ran my own freelance business for a long time, so that's me working solo and clients coming to me specifically for what I provide, but then also working on teams on varied projects at the exact same time. So I kind of fed my social need and my need to like be working towards like a common project and a common solution, and then on the side I could kind of express myself on my own projects and have total control.
You still do that?
I shut it down after I had my second baby.
That's fair.
It's my major project now.
Well, yeah, I get it. I have 3 kids. Do you find like that's good for just professional development? Like, let's speak a little bit to like someone who wanted to be a team member at a place like Zoo or work on a team with a person like you. What kind of things would you encourage them to learn? What kind of skills would you tell them to develop? What even traits make those types of people great team members?
A lot of it you can't or can't learn well until you actually are working with other people. And it's a lot of nuance. It's a lot of like micro interactions that happen working on a real project and a real problem. But outside of having that real experience, it's probably working on presenting yourself, talking about yourself, talking about your work is probably one of the biggest things that young designers, young creatives should be working on, is how to rationalize your decisions, how to break it down for somebody who isn't in the industry and bring it to their level, and having that awareness of what their level is versus your own level. That's a huge part of it.
Do you maintain a personal portfolio?
No.
Still? Like, did that die with your website?
It died with my website. I was busy enough that I didn't ever need to. But now I'm like kind of sad that it doesn't exist somewhere for me to look at, because I have all this body of work that...
It was like a resume for an artist. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You can't put that on LinkedIn in like a description. You
have to
show it. I always had this, like, as long as I've been a photographer, like, you can conceptually know how to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And I would connect this to ego. I had a lot of ego, probably still have a lot of ego.
Oh, I'm sure I did too.
But especially when I started.
Yeah. You want to prove yourself. You want to show someone, like, I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
Believe me.
And then I was like, I can do anything.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe I could.
Yeah.
But I always had this idea of like, you're only as good as the work you've created.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can't remember where I picked that up. Maybe I kind of made it up. Maybe I learned it at a workshop. I don't know. I don't care.
You're only as good as your last project, or that's a different.
Yeah, sure.
That's a different.
Same
vibe,
thing.
Yeah.
Same-ish thing.
Yeah.
And so it was like, how do you turn concepts and ideas in your head into actual outputs?
Mm-hmm.
And I found as a creative, and even being like freelance, like, our portfolio is really important. Obviously, when we get busy, it lacks the nurture it needs. We're in a nurturing phase right now, actually. Yeah. But yeah, like, I guess my recommend, even to my daughter, she's in a media studies program in grade 11. And I'm like, your portfolio's like, you need a portfolio. Like, you need to build a personal brand. She wants to be an actress, and she likes movies, filmmaking, reading books. And I'm like,
love that.
You got to do, like, I can't even guide you to where to go, and you got to make this path on your own. I'm not an actor myself. Like,
yeah. She needs a mentor. She needs someone who's like a stage or two, maybe 3, 4, 5 ahead of her.
Yeah. And I'm like, that might be not here.
Yeah.
Might have to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Probably Vancouver.
If it's not here, someone here knows where she needs to go.
But yeah, I'm trying to like guide her on the portfolio. I'm like, this matters a lot. Like, building this, even when we hire people, like, we'll ask them to show us recent work they've done.
Mm-hmm.
And like, this person probably, it doesn't matter who it is, but one of the applicants worked at a TV organization, like, was for a videography position.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, cringe at TV, because TV just like, who watches TV anyway? But the bar's very low, and it's just weird.
It solves a specific problem in a very specific way. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a reason it's dying. There's like, that world is dying.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't care about preserving any of that. But yeah, he couldn't show me a portfolio. Like, he didn't show me any work. And I was like, okay, you're not a good fit for this place.
Yeah.
And maybe he would have been, but
we'll never know.
But not having it was also a behavior I like indicated to me. He's not as creative as I'd probably want.
Mm-hmm.
And the other people just shone a little better.
Yeah.
And so then I kind of just look at the portfolio as like a huge piece, especially on the photography side. Like, have you got experience? Like, can you take a picture? Like, I could set that camera up over there on a certain dial and hand it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you knew composition, it would handle everything else.
Totally. Yeah.
They're so easy to use. Like, taking the photos, the easiest part.
Mm-hmm.
But then like,
your eye and your personal perspective on, and your taste. Yeah,
even like applied. The way you make people feel. Like,
totally.
Can you photograph a person?
Mm-hmm.
Like, using, like, we're not technical. We're not running equipment here.
Yeah.
Like, we're giving an experience. And
absolutely.
Like, I would rather train a hostess from a restaurant to be a photographer, because they have people skills than.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. That ability to interface.
Yeah.
with other humans.
Because if someone's having a good time, and we mostly photograph people.
Mm-hmm.
If they're having a good time, you can get a good photo.
Yeah.
And if you give a bad experience, even if the photo's good, people remember a bad experience.
And you can probably read that too in the photo that you somehow managed to capture.
Yeah. And then, good luck having a business. It's just challenging.
Mm-hmm.
But, any other advice for someone starting out?
Oh.
If you're in high school, if you're in grade 11, grade 12, this is for young Matt.
I was thinking about this interview a lot, like how am I gonna, I kind of framed it as like, let's talk about AI and creativity. It's so now, but it's so relevant, obviously. And all I can think about is young creatives trying to come up in the world, trying to learn, trying to get experience, and how junior positions are evaporating in the creative industries and agencies. Like, this is how I cut my teeth, was as a junior and as an intern. And that's how you get real experience. You can't recreate that without an environment that you work with a team and that gives you feedback, and you get problems to work on that actually solve real problems, or problems to work on that, you're working towards a solution for something real. So what freaks me out, and I want to be optimistic, but those positions are evaporating. So how do you recreate that experience, and how do you learn how to make decisions? How do you learn how to synthesize creativity in an industry that's just, in turmoil at the moment with the advent of AI? And AI is really taking a lot of those junior tasks and making them quite simple or speeding them up. And that's kind of part and parcel why these positions are evaporating. So how would I go around that? That's what I'm trying to figure out for myself. How do I shepherd the next generation of creatives in? Because I keep telling people, like, I'm not going to be around forever. I have no grand illusions of being in this industry for another 30 years, but my expertise could be valuable to somebody. So how do I be that shepherd, and how do I share my knowledge? And that's something I'm grappling with right now. I think for one, you can't rely too much on AI because we know it's atrophying our brains. We know that.
Is that scientifically proven?
I just was reading about a study. I didn't do the study. I was just reading about it. MIT did on brain activity and how it's creating sort of a laziness, and it's hampering our ability to synthesize decisions and creativity. And it's just, I don't want to be a total detractor of AI. It's a tool, but it makes me sad or nervous, like what's going to happen. And maybe this is how the folks who were photographers before the advent of Photoshop felt, or the typesetters before the printing press.
Before digital, even.
Before digital, yeah. Like film photography, or, the monks hand scribing text before the printing press. Like, is this how they felt? Becoming irrelevant, but also not being able to pass on their craft. So the best I can say is continue to practice and continue to experiment with tools outside of AI. Like, let's get analog. I gift my team every year a pencil of some kind, some sort of analog tool, and some sort of paper to remind them to get back to that analog, quick, like, exercise of your brain and your hand. Like, you're using your body and your brain and your eyes together, and making sure that they remember that those are usable and relevant tools still.
How is Zoo adapting its thinking and process around AI right now?
So we have 3 major departments at Zoo. We've got UX and strategy, we've got design, and we've got engineering and development. And each department has integrated various AI tools in various ways. Mostly it's, again, to kind of take on those junior tasks, those menial tasks of automate this function for me, review this process and just pick out, specific things for me, summarize that, write this little piece of content based on my prompt. So we're using it in every department to make our much more cognitively difficult tasks simpler and quicker. That would be the broadest way to describe what we're doing right now.
Do you find you can even use it much for your job?
I was just asking my colleague Brian Ullman, like, are you using AI much? Like, are you finding it that useful? And I think for what we do, and we've been in the industry again for a lot longer, is we know how to do all the menial things. We've tried some of the tools, and we just find that they can't get us even close to what we need them to be yet. Maybe that will change in the next year or so, but I think it's a level of taste and a level of need that we have, and a certain expectation that AI just hasn't risen to that occasion. Maybe we're just bad at prompting.
Probably
too.
not. Probably not. Creative people are pretty typically good, I find, at.
Yeah.
Because being creative, solving problems is a creative thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Creativity is the parent in my mind to solving problems.
Yeah.
If you can't solve problems, you're not creative. Anyway.
And it's a muscle that you have to exercise and condition.
Did you like math and problem solving in school?
I wouldn't have said this at the time, but I could appreciate the beauty of math. Once I could see a pattern emerge, and it wasn't just get this homework done. I don't know why I'm doing this. Get this super difficult math problem done so that the teacher's happy. Once I was past that, I was like, oh, this is really interesting. But also, I'd rather go paint a photo.
So very visual.
Yeah, very, very visual. I could appreciate the beauty, and I now know that mathematics is this beautiful science. It's really interesting, but I also have no interest in getting any better at it.
I don't use any math except cross multiplication.
Yeah.
To figure out mileage.
Yeah.
From liters per 100 to miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Because my dad talks in miles per gallon.
Yeah.
Or percentages. Percentages. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ratios or whatever. Yeah. Basic ratios.
It's funny. Yeah. And it's I don't know. I think of developing. I grew up playing music and was the art kid. I was a kid in grade 2 with the pencil or the sharpener, crayons with the sharpener in the back of the box. You probably had that too.
Yeah.
I was drawing all the time.
Yeah. All over your desk, all over scrap paper on the
draw the same thing over and over for some reason. A dinosaur with scales, or this one scene with waves. And was it good or not? No, it doesn't matter. I liked it.
Yeah.
And then graphic arts came around in high school, and I was like, ooh, graphic arts, that's cool.
Yeah, it just gives you. I always had this sense of, always had a sense of entrepreneurialness. I wanted to start little businesses when I was a pretty young kid. And I don't know what that was. I think I just wanted an expression that people could use or appreciate. So naturally, I'll make a little business or sell these little crafts or whatever. But it also gave me an outlet to practice and to try to make something better and just iterate over and over and over again. And each time you're getting incrementally better. And I think I just really, really liked that, and the tactile nature of making things too. Once graphic design came along, it was wow, you can do so much with these tools.
What do you think most people misunderstand the role of AI in creative work? Where?
Where
do you think they misunderstand the role of AI?
I think there's maybe a misconception, whether it's from people inside as a creative or people who want to be more creative and are trying to kind of break into the space, that AI can get you from problem to finished solution. And people see these polished presentations that trick them into thinking it's real, and it's wow, that's interesting. Or you see a generated visual communication something or other, and you think that it looks believably finished. But to get to that, there was no experimentation. It was just automated. Maybe it does the job, maybe it doesn't, but you'll never know because you got from point A to point B so fast. And there was no experimentation in the middle. There's no human experience in the middle. It's kind of stealing from other people's work, which arguably is all art, is referenced from somebody else's art.
Feel like an artist.
Yeah. So sure.
Austin Kling.
Yeah. Sure, but if you don't have an appreciation for what it's referencing, then you're kind of missing half the journey. And it's like, why are we here if why are we doing this if we're just trying to get from point A to point B as quickly as possible? Like, enjoy the journey.
I find I'm not doom and gloom. I'm not optimistic. I just see it as like a wave.
Watching, yeah.
And I kind of like look at AI right now as like, it is what it is right now. It feels like it's stalled out actually.
Yeah.
Especially ChatGPT, it feels like it's gone backwards for some reason.
Yeah.
The way it writes is weirder.
Yeah.
And then the visual stuff's kind of cool, but then to do it in a workflow is not repeatable. We tried a thing where we'd take our thumbnails and make for the podcast, like Karen would photograph us.
Yep.
And then we'd take it and put it in some sort of illustrative art style. And then it could make one, but it couldn't make two that would match.
Yeah. Never.
And then
never very consistent.
And then I'll be like, okay, it has to be 16:9, like for a YouTube thumbnail. Sometimes it'd be square. Sometimes it couldn't even basically get it. And I was like, okay, I'm not even, you know what? We're photographers. A good photograph's still pretty.
Yeah.
It's just, maybe I'm just bored of it. So I'm like wanting to change it up. But
yeah.
Anyway, we just settled on, we'll just put a photo as the thumbnail and then that looks good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, it's not there yet. Like to me, it's very experimental and then treating it like as a way to get some high end work done is the mistake, but treating it like an assistant to help you be most professional is like probably where I've seen the best. Yeah. Even like, I have it help me with the show notes and it's still like, I would fire someone if they gave me this garbage.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
And it does save me time, but it's like, like it can't even get the right format, even though I have a template in the project to make.
It's like the worst intern you've ever had.
Yeah, it makes me frustrated. Yeah. I would spit the coffee out and send it back.
Yeah.
And it would deserve it. I wouldn't even pay. They'd owe me money for working for me. Yeah. But I'm optimistic about just like, I don't know. Like, I feel like the whole marketing world's changing. This is just like another thing.
Yeah.
Social media came, that was huge. Digital photography came back in the day, that was huge. At the end of the day, like, there's this human connection. This is how I kind of view marketing, is like, it's connecting humans with other humans.
Totally.
And whoever does that well will get hired to do that well for other people.
Totally.
And so,
yeah. And I think we need to remember that it's not true intelligence.
Yeah, it's not even
close.
Yeah.
So anything we see that looks marginally useful has had a heavy human hand. Yeah. And I think we need to appreciate still that the human involvement is still everything. The human experience and the human perspective is everything. Did
you see the Coke commercial at Christmas?
Yeah.
Have you seen the memes about making the Coke commercial? So it's like these directors trying to get AI to do it. And it's just like the pain and struggle. And at the end of like not getting it, they're like, oh, we should have just done this ourselves.
I saw so far I can track one use of AI that I'm like, that is very, like, it's a heavy, clear use of AI and I actually like it. But I really want to know which specific AI LLM were they using and how many hours did they use, who was involved, like art directing this thing. And it was the Fatboy Slim video with the Rolling Stones. It's like Rockefeller
Skank or something. Or
Satisfaction Skank or something like that. Like two songs mashed up. And I was like, this is pretty cool, but like how much of it is truly AI? So
to me, that's like a stunt anyway, which is fine.
Yeah, and Fatboy Slim still made the music, so it's great.
Yeah. We'll see where it all goes.
Yeah.
See where it all goes.
Yeah.
What's one belief or mindset you think creatives should hold on to as this shift continues?
Could probably be a few. Certainly.
Speak to your view.
Yeah.
What are you kind of keeping as a mindset or belief?
I would say that my and other creatives' unique perspective is formed throughout their lifetime, throughout their experience, their unique experience of life, and that informs their creative output at all points in the creative journey. And you can't discount how valuable that is to getting better at your craft, to producing work that someone will pay you for. And sure, we've got this world-changing technology coming through, but things will settle at some point. And to kind of not lose heart and know that your perspective is valuable.
A rule in business I always remember is like, people don't hire businesses, people hire people.
Yes.
And so at the end of the
Love
day,
that.
those relationships matter, you know. Unless you're a commodity. But we don't, once you're a commodity, then yeah, I can take that job. It doesn't matter. Well, thank you for being here, Roberta. It's been awesome to chat with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun. I love talking to other creatives. So
this is a gift to me because I like, this is probably our longest conversation we've ever had.
Yeah.
We got to go into the weeds, beliefs,
Yeah.
roots. I'll have to have you on again. So thank you for being here. If you'd like to connect with Roberta, you can find her on Instagram at ZooLive or Rowboat. Okay, we got to redo the whole episode because I screwed that up. No, just kidding.
Start again. Roll it again.
And learn more about Zoo at zoo.com. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.